Who is Starman? Starman is one of the Starborn. So what are the Starborn? Well, the Starborn are an alien species that inhabit all over space. They are essentially living stars in the form of people. They were also born from the light of the celestial known as Apollo, one of my daughters. The Starborn are also one of the oldest living species in all reality, and have developed their culture into a quite advanced civilization. When Starborns are slain, they explode into a small nova. The Starborn can also never actually die of old age. Well, kinda. Basically, Starborn don't die of old age, but when they have lived long enough, they can transform into a new form, either a white dwarf or a black dwarf. Clarification. They are still alive and people when transformed into these. They don't become the actual space stars. Unfortunately, there are only two Starborns that have reached that stage. They are the two leaders of the species, one white dwarf and one black dwarf. So how comes those are the only two like that? Well, the Starborn have been suffering some sort of crisis for quite a while now. Everyone is unsure how this started and what is causing it, but out of nowhere, all the Starborn that reach the right age don't become a dwarf anymore. They instead become something called a Dark Titan. Dark Titans are essentially living black holes in the shape of eldritch beasts. They consume everything in their path. Luckily, the Starborn have found measures to capture the Dark Titans and study them to potentially find a cure and to find out what is causing this. The Starborn have been unsuccessful in finding any permanent cures, but they have found ways to delay the inevitable. Anyway, enough about the Starborn, and let's talk about Starman. Starman was once an ordinary Starborn, helping his people and being a good productive member of society. Unfortunately, Starman would be drafted in a war against some cult that is definitely not related to anything important at all. In this war, one of his fellow soldiers' time was up. They became a Dark Titan on the battlefield and obliterated the entire planet they were fighting on. This event absolutely traumatized him and gave him severe PTSD. Starman's mind would never be the same again. He developed a completely new personality as a way of blocking out the traumatic memories. But this new him was an absolute menace. This is also where he got the name Starman from. He had a normal name before, but he's forgotten it now. Starman was so bad now, he would be exiled by the other Starborn and forced to venture across reality all on his own.